Your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know, the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Now, here's an interesting celebration that we have going today. So, you know, I've told you before, it's not a big secret, I'm old. So today's Play Monopoly Day. So, Josh, you might have to help me on this one. When I was younger, you know, basically, maybe it's still the same today. Maybe it's changed a little because of the young people and technology. But it used to be, you know, you played Monopoly when you were newlyweds just because you didn't have any money to go do anything else. Now, you played a little bit of Monopoly then with your kids when they were of age. Yeah, so you got another Monopoly board. And then when you're old, well, my parents got into backgammon. I don't know if that's still an issue, but do the kids play Monopoly at all, Josh? I would think sometimes it's a long game. Might be too long. I would think sometimes for the younger ones. But as they say, as I say on a regular basis, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
There's also National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day. That's a lot. Can't we just get a carbonated beverage with Tito's? A lot less letters, right? Although I have gotten into our friends over at Comisario Tequila. They make a good tequila. Not for they're shooting them, you know, just for nice little sipping tequila. But how did I get to tequila from carbonated beverages? Okay, you know, and I just saw recently, you know, we're going to have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. may be our health czar or health secretary. I saw an article yesterday. If a item has more than 5 ingredients, probably not good for you. And if the ingredients are something that you can't pronounce, definitely not good for you. Carbonated beverages, for the most part, not good for you. Stick with good old H2O. I've been working with my son on that one. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try. Let's see what the markets are doing today. They've recovered a bit. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 146 points. The S&P 500 is up 6.5. The NASDAQ is up 84. Oil down 12 cents a barrel. And we've got the 10-year Treasury is down 4 basis points. That means the bond has gone up. Why has the bond gone up? Well, it's not for any reason that we like. The bond has gone up basically because of the authorization from the U.S. I don't know what I'm not sure President Biden knows what he's up to. Did you see that it was, you know, I was really disturbed yesterday seeing the picture, they call it a family picture at the G20 summit, you know, and that's the big industrialized countries of the world. Our president is generally front and center. Yesterday, he was on the back row on the far, far right. And that was after they found him and he wandered off into the trees or behind a palm tree. Yet he's still doing different measures. So what's causing this ruckus in the markets right now? A lot of it has to do with geopolitics. Has to do with our president saying that Ukraine could use some of the missile systems that we sent them. I'm not sure why we would have sent them to them if they weren't giving them authorization to use, but they said we can use them, and one of the systems actually will go 190 miles into Russia. Didn't take Ukraine too long to use them, and Putin comes back and says, well, we might put our nukes on the table now. So what happens then? Well, there's a flight to safety. I don't know what a flight to safety means when you're talking about nuclear weapons, but money's going into the 10-year treasury, buying the bond, which means the price goes up, yield goes down. We're seeing that happening. Now, we did not see any follow through there on oil. Oil prices down 7 cents a barrel, $69.10 a barrel as we speak. And unfortunately, right now, we're still the highest priced gasoline state, or second highest priced gasoline state. But hey, you know something? Our governor is going to make sure that's corrected. Did you see this one? Another 65 cents a gallon added in gasoline taxes and fees. The average state has less than 60 cents in taxes and fees on a gallon of gasoline. We're adding 65 cents. And we're already at about $1 and change. So we'll probably be over $2 a gallon just in taxes and fees in the formerly Golden State. Unbelievable, but we keep adding more to it because we're trying to get it right, apparently. Apparently, we haven't got it right yet. We haven't got to be the number one clear leader in gasoline prices. Hawaii is at $4.57, and we're at $4.45. So we'll get that corrected in the next few months. Thank you, Governor Newsom, who wants to become president. Ugh. Boy, that would be a bad idea. That would really be troublesome.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Troublesome Newsom. And did you see the latest? 72% of Californians say they'd be happy to have Kamala Harris as the next governor. Goes from bad to worse. Unbelievable. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast lined up for you today. A lot of very interesting information, as always. Is Wall Street really buying all the homes? We'll talk about how to get a HELOC, and we'll give you the steps to doing it. Downsizing. Meet the mortgage team that understands you. We'll talk about that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, $19.90 and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates, with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did rates do yesterday? The most recent data available. Now, OBMMI does not tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They tell us the number you need to put into your mortgage calculator if you want to find out what your principal and interest payment is. Yesterday's rates, conventional 30-year fixed, 6.812. That was down. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 7.053. That was down. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.393. That was down. VA 30-year fixed, 6.364. That was up. And USDA 30-year fixed. Rural areas, generally no down payment, 6.435. That was down. If you want our market commentary every weekday business day morning as early as the data allows, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. Let's see what the markets are doing this morning. So we are looking at all of them for you. The S&P 500 is now up 7.20. We've got the 10-year Treasury down 4 basis points, 4.37. And the mortgage-backed security 6% bond, that one is up 14 basis points on the bond. Remember, when the bond goes up, the yield goes down. What's driving all of this right now? Well, as I shared with you a little earlier, President Biden, I don't know what he's really thinking here, but allowed Ukraine to utilize ATACMS, the Army Tactical Missile Systems, to fire missiles into Russian territory, and Ukraine did not waste any time launching their first strike. As a result, Vladimir Putin signed a decree allowing Russia to launch nuclear weapons in the event of an attack on its soil. The potential for nuclear strikes and escalations has caused a risk-off trade with a flight to safety into global bond markets. Bonds are moving higher, but for the wrong reasons. We want the bonds to move higher, but this is not the way we want them to move higher. National Association of Home Builders, their NAHB Housing Market Index, measures builder confidence rose 3 points to 46, which is the second improvement in a row, and was much stronger than estimates looking for a 1-point decline. It is also the highest level since April, but is still in contraction below 50. Looking at the internals, current sales rose 2 points to 49, highest since May. Future expectations rose 7 points to 64, highest in over a year. Buyer traffic rose 3 points to 32, highest since April. And the current sales are almost at 50 level, while future expectations surged 7 points, as builders are clearly feeling more optimistic about the future. NAHB Chairman Carl Harris said, with the elections now in the rearview mirror, builders are expressing increasing confidence that Republicans gaining all the levers of power in Washington will result in significant regulatory relief for the industry that will lead to construction of more homes and apartments. This is reflected in a huge jump in builder sales expectations over the next 6 months. So let's look. Housing starts and permits. Housing starts and permits and completions were softer in October, partially due to market conditions, but the impact of storms in the South added to the weakness. The near 6-year low in starts means there will be less new inventory in the future, which is a double-edged sword. While it will lead to less transactions, it'll likely support home values. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So I get this all the time right now. Is now a good time to refinance your mortgage? We've been talking about where the rates are going. We've been talking about what rates are doing. And yes, I did share with you that we've been looking at about a 7% mortgage rate, give or take, is what the rates are actually locking at. Now, when I say 7%, that's not an offer to you of 7%. That's not even saying that you qualify for 7%. What I'm really saying there is that's where the market is on a generic basis. What do you see when you go and you look at the markets and you look and you see, okay, where is interest rates today? Well, the interest rates, when you talk about where are interest rates today, and I'm looking at the MBS Live, they've got a great website that kind of gives us the idea. And it gives me, well, I shouldn't say gives us, it gives me a great idea of exactly what's going on at all times. And I can see on there where the markets are doing. I can see on there what people are waiting for or are offering. But it's not necessarily you. When we look at, like I gave you the OBMMI numbers, that's actual locked rates from yesterday. But they only gave us one number for each category. So what does that mean? So on conventional loans, where we looked at what the numbers were, and it said that yesterday, conventional loans locked at 6.812. What does that mean? Well, it means they averaged them out, but that could be people that have great credit, poor credit, big down payments, low down payments, buying down points, investment, second home, primary residence. All of those things go into that mix. And we really don't know what the mix really is at any given time, other than that's what the average was. So when you see those numbers, and if you see them anywhere, you really should be ignoring them. And here's how I tell people, if you want to really look and get a good idea, go to Google, which we all do that anyway, and just put in 30-year fixed rate mortgage rates today and see what Google says. And when I put that in there just now, usually it'll give me a result, but it's giving me all the ads. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so I'm looking just for current mortgage 30-year rates, and we'll see if it'll tell me anything. And no, it just goes back to advertising again. Is Google any good for search anymore? Is it all strictly for advertisers? I mean, you can't get any. First time I get Rocket Mortgage, then I get Best Money, then I get Fund. And I'm going to go on a tangent right here. Anytime you go into any of these different searches and you go and you're putting your information in, when you go to these browsers, believe it or not, what's their business? Their business is to sell advertising. So whenever you put your information in there, all you're really going to get is your information being sold. So what do I recommend you do? Well, what I do, I can't tell you what you should do, but what I do is I have a Google Voice number and I have a Gmail address that are just for those type of purposes. And I use those two things because I never ever answer that phone number. And I never, ever look at that email. So the bottom line there is I'm not getting bothered by that information. So I finally found it here. So Google says yesterday that a 30-year fixed rate loan is 7.53. Mortgage News Daily says 7.08. And I told you that OBMMI that locks the loans actually says 6.81. Why do I tell you all those numbers? Well, my purpose there is that you're not getting good numbers. If you look on a billboard, if you look on an advertisement, if you go in Google search, if you know to go to Mortgage News Daily, if you go to OBMMI, those are just ballparks. They don't tell you anything about what you need to be doing. That's why we tell you on Ron Siegel Radio, strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. How do you know? And when I just look, I have a real estate track record. So I can look up real estate agents and lenders, and I look at the loans that they're doing. And if you want to know where you can see the biggest mistakes that lenders will do, and I can tell you where you've got a non-strategic lender or a borrower that doesn't take advice, one or the other. So if you have a loan and you're buying a new property and you do a loan on that new property and it's a 47% loan to value or a 64% loan to value or a 72% loan to value, you're wasting money. You're not using your money efficiently. The reason being is there's price reductions, there's price adjustments at various levels. I'm not going to go into all the levels because it'll bore you. I may already be boring you. But the bottom line is if you take that odd number, go instead of doing a 76% loan to value, do an 80, or instead of a 74, do a 75. Use that odd amount, a percent or two, to buy down the interest rate. It will save you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, if you're moving in the next 6 months, okay, don't do that. But if you're going to be living in the house more than a year or two, you need to explore that strategy by by rounding off those numbers and having a lender that knows where the loan level price adjustments are to maximize the usage of your funds. Because yes, you're not going to have as much in the way of equity, but your payment will go down because you're not paying as much interest. Well, what do you do with the extra money? Put it towards your principal if you want to, and then you're going to watch how much quicker you pay off your loan. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Just remember, strategy beats rate always. Is Wall Street really buying all the homes? How to get a HELOC in 6 simple steps. Downsizing? We can even call it right sizing. Meet the mortgage team that understands you, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Is Wall Street really buying all the homes? That is the subject of today's real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Is Wall Street really buying all the homes? Let's be real. Buying a home right now is tough. You're scrolling through listings, rushing to open houses, and maybe even losing out to more competitive offers. Somewhere along the way, you might have heard the reason it's so hard to find a home is because big Wall Street investors are swooping in and snatching up everything in sight. But here's the thing, that's mostly a myth. While investors are part of the market, according to Redfin, they're a relatively small part of the market. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart. And it says investors only bought 1 in 6 homes sold in the second quarter. Investors purchased 16.8% of U.S. homes that sold in the second quarter. That's down from an all-time high of 20.8% during the pandemic. Here's what that means. 5 out of every 6 homes are being purchased by everyday home buyers like you, not big investors. So before you get discouraged, let's take a look at what's really going on. You might be surprised to learn that Wall Street isn't the competition you may think it is. Most investors are small mom and pops. Most investors aren't the mega corporations you've probably heard about. In fact, many are your neighbors. A recent report from CoreLogic shows most investors are small mom and pop types who own fewer than 10 properties. They aren't massive companies with endless resources. Picture your neighbor who has another home they're renting out or a vacation getaway. Only about 1% of the market is owned by large mega investors with thousands of properties. The majority are still owned by individuals and smaller investors, not the Wall Street giants. Investor purchases are declining. Not only are most investors small, but overall, investor purchases have been on the decline. As the same report from CoreLogic says, quote, investors made 80,000 purchases in June 2024, compared with 112,000 in June 2023, and a nearly 50% drop from the high of 149,000 in June 2021, unquote. What does that mean for going forward? CoreLogic goes on to point out this downward trend is expected to continue into 2025. So if it seems like competition with investors is pushing you out of the market, it might help to know that investor activity is slowing down. Bottom line, the idea that Wall Street is buying up all the homes is largely a myth. Most investors are small ones, and the share of homes purchased by investors is declining. So you can take this one off of your worry list. You have questions about the housing market? Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, if you want to know about your market, all you have to do is go to rsrlinks.com/market report, rsrlinks.com/market report, and you can see exactly how many homes are for sale in your market. If you're getting outbid or you think you're getting outbid by investors, well, I'm just going to tell you, shame on you. And maybe it's a shame on your realtor as well. Why? Because you're an individual user. If you're a user, you've got advantages. Investors are there to make a profit. You're there for many reasons, one of which is profit. That's a real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. So let's talk about that a little bit. The investor goes into the property, and their goal is simply one thing. They want to know, are they going to make money? So if they're, how do they make money? Well, they need to buy it low, sell it high. Or they need to be able to buy it for a price that they can rent it out for. Now, they may have cash that can help them get to the sale quicker, but not if you have the right strategy, because strategy beats rate always. When you talk to our team, Siegel Lending Team at Geneva Financial, we're going to get you pre-underwritten. When you are pre-underwritten, you can go in and make a same as cash offer because the underwriter's already approved you. How long is a cash offer going to take to close? They can't go in and write a check today and own it tonight. Why? Because it's got to go, in most instances, they're going to want to get title insurance. They're going to want to have an escrow. So they may need to take a day or two, maybe 3. But again, they want to get paid for doing that. They want to get paid to make it that easy for the seller. So they're going to offer a lower price. Now, if you've been pre-underwritten with the Siegel Lending Team at Geneva Financial, what happens then? Well, you're going to basically be able to close in about 10 days. Kind of the laws are in there that you've got to have 3 days for disclosures and 3 days for closing disclosures, and you got weekends. Some days count, some days don't count. But for the most part, you can be approved and have everything done within hours. Now, if the property needs an appraisal, that could take 3 or 4 days. But the bottom line is you can do a 10-day loan if you're already pre-underwritten. So do you think the seller is going to be willing to wait 10 days to get $5 or $10 or $20,000 more for their property? Now, if you understand strategy, you might even say, okay, I'm going to bid 10% more and I'm going to ask the seller to give me a 5% concession out of that 10. So you're actually giving the seller a net of 5% over the asking price. Well, why would you do 10 then? Because you're going to ask the seller to buy down the interest rate with the other 5. So now you're going to be looking at an interest rate that could be in the high 4s, low 5s. Strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. There are many, many ways of doing these things, but most people have no idea how to do them. I was on a call yesterday, and I get on some calls very, very early in the morning. And some of the calls I get on, people don't understand anything to do with a rate buy down. Oh, Ron, we don't pay points. There's no way we're going to pay points. Well, why wouldn't you pay points if it's part of your right strategy? And I think we did a whole show on this, or a whole video on it, rsrlinks.com/buydown. rsrlinks.com/buydown. And I show you, because a lot of people say, well, we're going to use a 3-2-1 buy down. Okay, you could. And there is a place for it. I prefer in most instances a permanent buy down, because I don't have a crystal ball. I have a good idea of what interest rates are going to do. We can look at them and say, we think that by the end of next year, they should be somewhere in the low to mid 5s. Low to mid 5s. Okay, so if I can get you a low to mid 5s today with a buy down, and you don't have to refinance next year, do you think that might be stronger, better for you? I'm going to suggest the amount of money that you would save over the year is more than the cost of what the property, the increased pricing of the property. It's just strategy, folks. And you're not going to get strategy by going online to an online service. You have to chat with somebody. Why? Not because the online services are bad. They just don't understand it. They're in a quick draw mode. That's their goal. How quickly can we get you into contract with them as a lender, and how quickly can we get you funded? That's when they get paid. Now, you have to add one more thing, in our opinion. As certified liability advisors, our goal is to help you build wealth through strategic debt management, through better debt management. So sometimes we want to use the buy down strategy. Sometimes that's not appropriate. Sometimes, if you can afford it, the 3-2-1 might be the best thing. Obviously, you know that our opinion, and we're right, is the Home Select loan from Geneva Financial is the absolute best loan on the market, because it saves you the most money. It is the most aggressive loan for building wealth through debt management. Will everybody qualify for it? No. But can we put you on a game plan to get there? Absolutely. And that's the goal. So you look at the video, rsrhomeselect.com. So when we talk about any of these things, there's a lot of folks talking right now about debt management. They're talking about taking out a HELOC. I was on a call last week, I think it was, maybe the week before. One of the folks on the call was saying that their HELOC was cut. They had a home equity line of credit on their property, and they hadn't been using it. So the lender cut the amount. Well, they can do that unless it's used, unless the money's been already deployed. But why would they do that? Well, it's simple. Number one, for every dollar they've got committed, whether you use it or not, they have to have a percentage of that set up in reserves. They have to have those dollars available, because they don't know, if you went and wrote a check today, they're not going to know that until tonight when it hits their bank, or tomorrow when they go to draw on it. So the whole focus there is, if it's not being used, they got to bring that down, because they got to use that money so that they can make money. The second part is, Americans are drawing a lot of money through credit. Our credit is outrageous right now. So with credit levels as high as they are, the banks are starting to look and say, you know something, how much risk do we want to take? Now, we're going to hear shortly, and over the next month or two, that retail sales are up, so the economy must be good. Well, I'm here to tell you, I used to be in the import-export business. When retail sales skyrocket during holidays, it's not usually a good sign for the economy. The reason being is people leading up to the holidays in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, maybe the second quarter, they feel a little tight, so they don't spend as much on the kids. And then they feel guilty about that when comes the holiday time, and they spend more than normal. That's just cycles. That's just knowing patterns. So we tell you that so you're aware of it. So if you see these things happening, you'll just understand that's where the market is. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how to get a HELOC in 6 simple steps. Downsizing, meet the mortgage team that understands you. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. How to get a HELOC, 6 simple steps. Your guide to smart home ownership and financial freedom. If you built up equity in your home and need to access cash, a home equity line of credit might be the financial tool you need. Whether it's funding a home renovation, paying for college, or managing unexpected expenses, a HELOC lets you leverage the value of your home. But how do you get started and what you should know? Let's break it down into 6 simple steps to help you make an informed decision and confidently move forward. What is a HELOC and why does it matter? A HELOC is a credit card backed by your home's value. It's a revolving line of credit that allows you to borrow as much or as little as you need up to a set limit. Here's how it works. There's a draw period, typically lasting 10 years. This is when you can use the funds as needed and make interest-only payments. And then there's the repayment period. After the draw period ends, you enter repayment, which lasts up to 20 years. This is when you pay back both the principal and the interest. Why is it powerful? Unlike the other forms of credit, a HELOC usually offers lower interest rates. However, since it uses your home as collateral, responsible management is key. Step 1, assess your finances. Before diving into a HELOC, check your financial health, credit score. Most lenders prefer a FICO score 680 or higher. Cleanall3.com. Cleanall3.com is a place to find out what your score is, a legitimate FICO score. Pull your free credit reports from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion to review your standing. They do not give you scores, though, unless you pay for them. Cleanall3.com gives you the real FICO scores. Debt to income ratio. Lenders like a debt to income ratio below 43%. This ensures you have the financial capability to take on additional debt. Although with HELOCs, you can go up sometimes as much as 95%. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. Loan to value is 95. Equity check. Most lenders require you to have at least 15 to 20% equity in your home. And sometimes they'll go down as 5 or 10% equity. If you're unsure about your readiness, give me a call at 800-306-1990. That's what we do. We are certified liability advisors helping you build wealth through better and strategic debt management. Step 2, shop for the right lender. HELOCs are offered by many financial institutions, from local banks to national lenders. Take the time to compare interest rates and terms, fees including costs, application fees, and customer reviews. Start by getting quotes from the different lenders or give us a call at 800-306-1990. We will do that for you. Step 3, gather your documents. Once you've chosen a lender, streamline the process by preparing your paperwork, proof of income, pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, a recent mortgage statement, government-issued photo ID, proof of homeowner's insurance. Being organized up front can help you speed up the application process. Step 4, submit your application. Applications can usually be completed online, over the phone, or in person. Follow the lender's instructions and provide all requested documents to avoid delays. RonIsMyLender.com. RonIsMyLender.com will get you an application. Step 5, navigate the underwriting process. Underwriting is when the lender verifies your financial information and evaluates your home's market value. Expect a review of your creditworthiness and income, a home appraisal to confirm your property's value. This phase can take several days or weeks, depending upon the lender and how quickly you provide any additional requested information. Step 6, close and access your funds. If approved, you'll finalize your HELOC by signing the necessary documents. The lender will outline the terms, including your credit limit, repayment schedule, interest rates, and once signed, you'll receive instructions on accessing your funds. Use them wise to maximize your financial growth. If you have questions, give me a call. Final thoughts. A HELOC can be a powerful financial tool, but it's essential to approach it with a clear understanding of risks and benefits. If you're ready to explore how a HELOC fits into your financial strategy, give me a call today at 800-306-1990. And as you know, I am a certified liability advisor here to help families like yours build wealth through strategic debt management. Let's make sure your finances work for you, not the other way around. You can get more information, ronsiegelradio.com, or give us a call to get started. That's the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Who Do You Know segment, brought to you by RSR Home Select. Who do you know? Could be mom, could be dad, could be you, could be kids. Today we're talking about some of the senior issues. So maybe it's you, maybe it's your parents. Downsizing or right sizing. Our team understands the program, the process. Downsizing isn't just about moving into a smaller space. It's about crafting a lifestyle that fits where you are today and where you want to go tomorrow. Whether you're looking to free up equity, reduce financial burdens, or move closer to loved ones, making that transition should feel exciting, not overwhelming. That's why choosing the right mortgage partner is key. At the Siegel lending team of Geneva Financial, we understand the deeply personal and financial aspects of this decision. Our promise is to guide you through the process with clarity, confidence, and a plan that feels as unique as your journey. The challenge to downsizing, why it feels overwhelming, let's face it. Downsizing comes with a lot of moving parts. You might be asking yourself, what should I do with my current home? How can I ensure my next home supports my financial goals? Will I feel comfortable in a new space, or will it feel like I'm losing something important? These questions can make anyone feel stuck. Add to that the complex financial landscape of selling, buying, or refinancing, and it's easy to feel uncertain about the next step. Many homeowners worry they'll lose control over their options, settle for an uninspiring solution, or find themselves financially stressed. How we help you take control of your future? At the Siegel lending team of Geneva Financial, we don't just offer mortgage solutions, we offer peace of mind. Here's how we keep your goals front and center. Tailored financial solutions will help you create a personalized plan that aligns with your unique goals, whether it's reducing monthly payments, freeing up equity for retirement, or increasing your cash flow for simpler, stress-free life. Transparent guidance, no surprises here. You'll receive clear, straightforward advice at every stage so you'll always know your options and their implications. Competitive solutions, whether it's funding or finding the best rates or offering products that fit your specific needs, we prioritize options that maximize your financial well-being. Once again, strategy beats rate always. Emotional understanding, we recognize that downsizing is about more than numbers. It's about finding a place that feels like home, a space where you can build new memories while honoring the past. The benefit of partnering with us: when you choose a Siegel Lending team of Geneva Financial, you're not just hiring a mortgage team, you're gaining a trusted advisor in your right-sizing journey. Freedom to dream. Free up the equity you've built and turn it into opportunities for retirement, travel, or hobbies. Ease of transition. Reduce the stress of managing too much house, too many expenses, or a property that no longer fits your needs. New possibilities. Embrace the freedom that comes with a home better suited to your lifestyle today, and enjoy the financial flexibility to plan for tomorrow. The next step: confidence in action. You don't have to navigate this journey alone. Our mission is to ensure your transition is as smooth and rewarding as possible, empowering you to embrace the next chapter with excitement. Bottom line, your next chapter starts here, starts now. Ready to explore your options and take the next step toward your downsizing goals? Let's create a plan that supports your financial needs and lifestyle aspirations. Reach out today and let's make your downsizing journey a confident and seamless experience. That is Who Do You Know segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Let's see if we can give away some stuff, Josh. I think we have a little bit of time left today. You know, we've talked a lot about borrowing today. I don't usually like to talk a lot about borrowing, but whenever you're thinking about borrowing, if that's on your mind for the start of the year, make sure you've looked at our video and our program on maximizing your FICO score, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. We show you in that video how to maximize your FICO score by paying your credit cards the right way. And if you're one of those people that says, hey, Ron, I pay my credit card in full every month, 95% of you are still paying it the wrong way. We've documented that time and time again. rsrccpayment.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.